Hey, what's going on everybody, and welcome back to another Fallout 4 Mods Weekly. And just a little notice, we have been uploading Mods Weeklies on Sundays anyways, as opposed to Saturdays, and I'm thinking that that's just going to be its new permanent slot, so that's just a heads up. In the future, stay tuned for Mods Weeklies on Sundays, not Saturdays. That just gives us an extra day for mods to come out. And it's a good thing we did that because we did get some cool new mods. So, for starters, let's check out Resident Evil Tactical Handgun Animation Mashup by DarthGamerV. So this mod we've actually covered already on the channel, and it adds a tactical animation to the handguns when you are sitting idle. And that's really the only animation that it adds, is how you function with handguns. So it won't change anything to do with your rifles, and it won't change the combat animations for handguns. But your idle animations as well as your sprinting will actually be different. So anytime you get out of combat and you would normally rest your gun at the side, in vanilla Fallout 4, you would just kind of limply lay your hand at your hip and the gun would just rest there, and it was kind of awkward. You had no real gun safety or gun control. It would just kind of hang there willy-nilly. Whereas with this animation overhaul, it's going to raise your gun into the air and you will hold it safely with both hands, very similar to the style that it is in the Resident Evil series. You'll really recognize that, especially if you play this game in third person. So, much better way to hold the gun. Now, this also doesn't change your first-person animations. Those will stay the same as well. But in third person, you will hold your gun up. And when you sprint now, you will also have a very interesting change to the camera where it will actually center on your character and change the animation for that as well. Really neat little quality of life mod. If you didn't like the vanilla animations, this is just a nice little change-up. Not an overhaul, nothing crazy, but it is just a nice little touch. Definitely something to use if you're a third-person player. Up next, we have a pretty cool little retexture mod, and even a mesh change. And that's going to be the Mason Jar Cap Stash by dpillari. Now, if you remember in vanilla Fallout 4, there are these cap stashes that you can find all over the world that are in these weird little, I don't know, I guess they're supposed to be Tupperware, maybe? And then they have a nice label that says caps on them. This is going to change them to be in mason jars. While I do like the 50s aesthetic of them being in some sort of Tupperware, the mason jar I think is a little bit more believable as a way to keep your bottle caps. I mean, who hasn't collected bottle caps or coins, even in their childhood, in some sort of a mason jar or contraption like that? But now you can do it in Fallout 4 with your caps. So walk around and find cap stashes now in mason jars, and you can actually see the caps inside of them. And it still maintains that nice little label that says caps. So, really nice, interesting retexture and replacer for the original cap stashes. I much prefer this design. I like that I can actually see the caps inside and that it's a nice translucent mason jar. Just a really neat aesthetic and would be some really cool decorations for your player homes, honestly. Altogether, just a really interesting and unique take on the cap stashes, and I don't think I've seen a replacer mod for them before. Sure, there may have been high quality retextures just to up the resolution, but I've never seen a full-on replacer like this. So this is one that I kind of enjoy, and if you're looking for something to switch it up, this is just a nice little thing that you can add to your game and forget about. Moving on, we are checking out the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 Rangers Armor by Kurtie. Now, we actually checked this mod out earlier in the week, but it has since gotten quite a few updates and changes to the mod that kind of overhauled the entire way that it works. So originally it was just 2 or 3 armors as well as a helmet and a hat. But now the armors are actually modular. So on top of the full armor sets, you can apply just the uniform or just the over armors and wear those over the vanilla armors. So you can wear a t-shirt and jeans if you want with the new Rangers chest pieces as well as leg armors, helmets, and all of the other accessories. I really like the customization with this one. Being able to have it modular and use that function from Fallout 4 is always a plus for me. I hate seeing full-on armor sets in Fallout 4 when it has the ability to break it up into pieces and use it and customize it however you want. Player choice is always a huge plus for me, and the ability to mix and match these now, especially if you're running a couple of companions, to make them all look different is very nice. It's a little bit boring if you're going to go to your settlement and kit out all of your settlers and they all have the exact same armor on, and this, like I said, just gives you that freedom of choice. Very, very cool, and it looks like it also got some texture changes as well. I think the gloves are different now. It's just a nice little update to the mod that we checked out earlier, and if you're a fan of modern military armors, then this is definitely a cool one that you should probably check out. And this one isn't added to the leveled list. Instead, you'll have to craft it all at the chemistry station, but if you're playing with modern armors already, I don't think that's a problem for you. Moving on, we have another thing that's Call of Duty-esque, and that is Explosive Barrels by RedxYeti. And the reason I say that is because if you've played a Call of Duty campaign, you know that they are full of red explosive barrels, as well as other games like Half-Life or even Battlefield. So this mod is going to add in the trademark red and white explosive barrels that if you shoot, they will ignite and then explode. These will be scattered all around the Commonwealth, and you can choose 3 different versions of this mod to determine how many of these explosive barrels you want to see. You have light, medium, and heavy, each of which will replace more and more of these physics-based items around your world with these explosive barrels. So I have heavy on, and when I walk around, I see these in pretty much every encounter. And they don't have to be used, but they can be. If you see an enemy heading towards one, why not shoot this thing and give a nice explosive blast? And it's not like this mod isn't lore friendly. There's actually explosive barrels already in Fallout 4. They're the tall, skinny ones. I think you can find some at the Corvega plant, and those are all around the Commonwealth, so why not have these as well? I'm sure many people have walked around and seen physics-based barrels in Fallout 4 already and thought, why not have explosive ones? And this mod fixes that. So, if you like the idea of having some more combat variety and new ways to encounter situations, this is a neat little mod, and again, you can customize just how often you see these things, so this is a nice little bonus, adds some new gameplay to your game. I really like this one, super neat, super cool, and I like seeing aspects from other games brought into Fallout 4. So, nice little touch of variety here, and a really cool mod by RedxYeti. And finally, we are checking out US Marines BDU by, again, Kurtie. Same guy that made the Modern Warfare 2 Rangers armor is bringing in the US Marines BDU. And I believe these models are actually taken from Crisis, and they look really, really neat. Honestly, I think these pair very well with the Rangers armor from before. You get them the same way by crafting them at a chemistry station, and the base version actually have the same camo pattern, so you can have even more variety by using both of these mods together. However, with this Marines BDU set, you can actually change the camouflages. If you take these to an armor workbench, you can switch them out for different patterns from the military, like multicam or even the Marpat forest camo. This is another really, really cool modern military uniform, which I guess is the theme for today's episode, as we got a nice little bit of variety for those. Really, really awesome, and I'm kind of leaning more towards the modern military aesthetic recently. Specifically ones from modern day combat. Nothing too crazy or futuristic, but the ones that just add the actual factual military outfits into the game, because why wouldn't Fallout have that? It's kind of up to your own headcanon what you change Fallout into with mods, and I like the idea of having realistic military outfits. There's no reasons that these wouldn't have existed at some point, so why not have these cool new uniforms? Especially with the release of things like the Combined Arms Weapon Pack and some other really cool modern weapons that have been coming out lately, they all just pair very well together, and it can make for a really nice aesthetic. So why not convert your game into a modern post-apocalyptic wasteland where you're going and scavenging all of these real armors as opposed to the Fallout armors? It's really up to you how you play your game, but these are some nice additions if you like that modern aesthetic. And with that, we bring this video to a close. So, these are some pretty neat little mods that came out this week, and if you'd like to try any of them, they will be linked in the description below as always. And of course, don't forget to support your mod authors, endorse their mods, donate if you can, anything just to show your support and appreciation for all of their hard work. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to drop a rating, subscribe if you haven't already for more content just like this, and I hope to see you in the next video. Peace!